Now let's have a look. That when I solve algebraic expressions, this is also revision from term 1, that one method that helps me to solve more complicated equations is using inverse operations. And that's why we have done that mental maths, because we looked at inverse operations. And an inverse operation will undo an operation. So when I have addition, the inverse of that is subtraction. If I have subtraction, then I need to add. When my expression is a multiplication, I need to divide. And when it's a division, I need to multiply. It works opposite one another. So in today's lesson, we will build up, first we will look at how to build up an equation from the variable. You will then use the inverse operation to solve that equation by finding the value of the variable. Every algebraic expression starts with a variable, which we then build up into an expression. For example, when I look at 2x plus 3, how did I get to 2x plus 3? I started off with 2, which I multiplied by x, and after I've done that, I added 3. So that gives me 2 times x plus 3. And that is important, because if I want to solve that, if I make 2x plus 3 an equation, and I want to solve it, I will do the inverse of that. Let's have a look at it. Say, for instance, I have 2x plus 3 is equal to 7. So I'll do the opposite. Here I have added 3. So to do the opposite, I need to subtract 3. Now check on this. When I built this expression, adding 3 was my last thing that I've done. So now I started off with that. What I end, I started off right at the beginning. So I've added 3 lastly. Now I subtract 3 lastly. 3 minus 3 is 0. So 2x is equal to 4. What does 2x mean? 2x means 2 times x. So I do the opposite. And the opposite of multiplication is division. So I will divide both sides by 2. And that will give me an answer of x is equal to 2. Now, for your activity, show me how you have created the following. Show me how this was created. I give you 5 minutes. Are you ready for your answers to see if you are correct? Three x minus 4 means 3 times x, correct? And then I subtract 4. 3 times x minus 4. But what do we have here? How am I doing this? Do I start with a 6 or where do I start? I start with the A. So I've put A in brackets because that means it's a bracket. So I started off in brackets. I took A, I subtract 4 from it, and after I get the answer, after I have an answer, then I divide it by 6. It is not A minus 4 divided by 6. Remember that 6 needs to be divided into the A as well as in the 4. That's why we've put it in a bracket. The next one, number 3. It means that I first need to add that what is in bracket. Remember, BODMAS says first brackets, then multiplication. So I first need to add m plus 2. So it would look like in brackets m, I will add 2 to that, and after I have the answer, then I will multiply by 7. So when we look at the inverse of that, the inverse will say, if I work it backwards, it will say minus 4, which I need now to add. So I will add minus 4, and I would divide x by 3. So I will first add 4, so that will give me 4, and then I will divide x by 3. The inverse here will be, I will multiply with 6, then after I've multiplied with 6, then I will add 4. Here, what will I do? I will first divide by 7, and then I will subtract 2. So I will always work with the opposite. Do the opposite operation.